In Germany, parents get 250 euros every month for every child. No strings attached. In the United States, many families spend $2,000 a month just to have someone watch their toddler while they work. That's the difference between help coming in and money constantly flowing out. Today, I'm breaking down the real cost of raising kids in America versus Germany. Childcare, healthcare, education, and government support with real numbers that might surprise you. Start with daycare, the first gut punch here in the US. In America, the average annual cost for full-time care is between $10,000 to $15,000 per child. In some states, like Massachusetts, it's over $20,000 a year, more than in-state college tuition. And it doesn't matter if you earn 40 grand or 100 grand, you likely pay the same. Waitlist can stretch for months. Germany's system looks completely different. Kita or Kindergarten, which by the way, kindergarten actually was invented in Germany, is heavily subsidized. In places like Berlin, it's been free since 2018 after a child's first birthday. Typical fees range from 0 to 300 euros a month, scaled by income. Kita isn't just babysitting. It combines care with early education, language learning, music, and physical activity. And here a quick comparison for you. 2 kids in full-time care in the US, you might be paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month out of pocket. Of course, depending in which state or city you are in. In Germany, often under 500 euros total or even zero in some states. Daycare eats about 18% of the median American household income. In Germany, it's closer to 1 to 5%. So let me ask you, how much is daycare where you live? Drop your monthly cost in the comments. Now let's talk healthcare. In the US, the average annual cost of family health insurance through an employer is almost $24,000. And that's before copays, deductibles, and uncovered treatments. Braces? Well, if your kid needs those, $5,000 to $7,000. And I am in the midst of it right now with my oldest daughter. Broken arm? Well, I hope no one breaks an arm. I really do. But if your kid has an accident, $2,000 to $5,000, even with insurance. And looking at appendicitis, which is more and more common, you might still owe $3,000 after deductibles. In Germany, children are automatically covered under a parent's public health insurance at no extra premium. Doctor visits, hospital stays, vaccinations, and most prescriptions, usually those are covered. Even though in Germany, we now have more and more copays if you visit a doctor, if you buy prescriptions, or if you go to the dentist, we all have to pay. But it is not as excessive as it is here in the US. Glasses or braces, you'll pay something, but it's small. Braces often run 1,000 to 2,000 euros total after subsidies. Well, it is not actually small. 1,000 to 2,000 is still a lot of money. But when we look at appendicitis, most families get a bill of €0, dollars, whatever you want to call it, because the insurance covers it completely. Now, something that is near and dear to my heart is education. Public schools are free in both countries, but the costs pile up. In the US, with supplies, sports, field trips, and after-school care, sometimes thousands per year. Now, the real shock is colleges. In the United States, public universities average, on average, people, $20,000 a year in tuition. And if you look at private schools, you're looking more like $50,000 plus. Textbooks add another $1,200. And the average American graduate carries almost $30,000 in student debt. In Germany, public universities charge 0 to 1,500 euros a year in administrative fees. And for some exchange students from America that go to German universities, it's free as well, depending on the university and the city. Many textbooks are provided or inexpensive. Most students graduate with little to no debt at all. Plus, there's the apprenticeship system, paid vocational training that leads straight to a career without without student loans. So let me know, how much did you or your parents pay for your college here in the United States? And if you're German and watching, wie viel habt ihr denn bezahlt für euer Studium? Government support makes that gap even wider. In Germany, parents receive Kindergeld, 250 euros per child per month until at least age 18. Parents also get up to 14 months of paid leave at around 65% of their regular income with child protection. And I have a real life story for you, because when our first daughter was born and we were still stationed in Germany, my wife had to go back to work after 6 to 7 weeks. So I took Elternzeit with my job, which means I was able to stay at home for a year. I was guaranteed my job back after that year. And while I stayed home and took care of our daughter, I was paid 65% of my regular salary. And in the US, it's a little bit different. There's no guaranteed federal parental leave. Some states or employers offer it, but many parents get zero. The child tax credit is $2,000 per child per year, but it phases out for higher earners. And here's a middle income example for you. A German couple earning $50,000 a year gets over 3,000 Euro in Kindergeld, plus paid leave. An American couple at the same income gets maybe the $2,000 tax credit and unpaid leave, unless their employer is generous. These policies actually reflect two completely different philosophies. Germany invests directly in families. The US leaves most of the responsibility on parents. Put it all together, daycare, healthcare, education, and government support, and the contrast is actually humongous. The average US family spends around 27% of their household income on childcare and education. In Germany, it's closer to 9%. And because German families don't face the same crushing bills for healthcare and college, lower wages don't hit as hard. So which country is actually cheaper when it comes to raising kids? By the numbers, Germany takes more financial pressure off families, especially in early childhood and higher education. The US places more of the burden directly on parents, which can limit opportunities for those without higher income. But this isn't just about who wins, it's about values. Germany focuses on reducing essential costs for everyone. The US leans towards individual responsibility and market-based solutions. What about your country? Could you raise kids without going into debt? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you watch some of my other videos right here. I'm Mischa. I hope I see you in the next one. Tschüss.